Hello, everyone. Welcome today to our edition of the GalactiV. And I will be your host today. My name is Rich. We got Miss Mindy, also Tetra, and the lovely Caroline joining us today. And today's September 30th, 2021. And Mindy set the intention of our show today. So thank you, Mindy, for that. And the way it's going to go is we're going to share a soul drawing that Caroline did. Mindy asked her to do the drawing as she channels and makes these drawings when she's asked to for the United States of America. And then, of course, Mindy also put in the intention that she would be channeling as we go through the drawing, any messages that come in from spirit, and also opening that up to the world perspective. And then I'm going to also be chipping in with my thoughts and questions as we go along. So, but real quick, let's just touch in with our beautiful oracle goddesses today. Start with you, Mindy, since you're the glue of the GalactiV, and you put together this whole channel and team. So tell us how you're doing.
Hey guys, I'm doing pretty dang good, It's been a long ride through all these changes in the world. It's been pretty tough to manage some patience and agility and tenacity and desire to move forward. So once all those things have aligned, it feels like it's time to move forward once again. So I feel really just empowered and blessed to be here to move forward with y'all.
Yay, I love your background and your
Thanks.
setup. So I'm excited to talk to you more about that, about some of that stuff and how we persevered through these last months of crazy energy. And we'll do that at another show. So now let's ask Caroline how she's doing. The one who the gorgeous oracle soul who is presenting her soul drawing for us today. Caroline, how's it going?
It is going really great. We've had an intense cycle here. We got 5 planets in retrograde as of yesterday, I believe. So it's been a crazy ride, but we're getting through it, and we're learning so much and opening so much. So I wanted to make this soul drawing to kind of encapsulate the vibrational frequency of what is happening right now in the United States and North and South America, so including Canada and South America and countries like Brazil specifically popped out in this reading.
Okay, perfect. Great. And we're so glad that you took time to do that. So let's get going with checking out that drawing, Caroline, because every time I see one of your soul drawings, I just get real excited about it because it always nails it. Let's see here.
They're so amazing.
Happy to help channel. So I tuned in specifically, like I said, to the United States of America, North and South America. Huh?
Just real quick. Should I start from the top and go like reading a book like we've done before? Is that kind of, or is it up, go, is there, or do you want to take us through step by step as you, I just want to follow your lead here. So
I'll take, if you don't mind, I'll start.
Because I want to blow it up a little bit, is I guess.
Yeah, go to the top left. So that dragon is a water dragon. And it felt like it was underwater. And I kept seeing the president of China. So I kept seeing like a China connection with a dragon. It just felt like it was being sneaky. It was just in the water and hiding under the water. And I felt something about the great grandson in association with China. I don't know if it's a future power or something, or a future leader in associated with China, but I felt something's bridging that, connecting to the Americas, the Chinese connection there. Um, I don't know if Mindy wants to comment on that part, or I can keep going.
Well, I definitely, I have something to say, but Mindy, do you get anything about China's relationship to the United States from the ether?
Yeah, the water dragon underneath the water, so it's like waiting and being sneaky and waiting, kind of thing. Like it's gonna.
Kinu's a water dragon, so that's the first thing I thought of because he's a super water dragon guy.
Who?
Kinu, my son.
Your son.
He's a
Okay.
water dragon.
Yeah.
And so I think about the qualities of a water dragon and this is just from like my experience, and then I feel like I should ask the universe, but
Yeah, do
the
that. Both. Do that. Both.
yeah, that the qualities of the water dragon are kind of sneaky anyways because it's underwater and like they they're by nature but not by malice sneaky for survival. Does that make sense? And so it feels as a survival, like a survival energy.
You're really on to some things that are going on that I want to share. So don't, you're definitely picking up on something.
Yeah, I can feel the like heaviness of it, but there's something for survival and it's out there in the ocean and it's having to do with kind of on a more mystical realm and like a different dimensional realm, the different kinds of living beings that are down there that are of another dimensional realm, say the true water dragons that are still under there, the merfolk, the whole entire, it's like the fae. Some people see them, some people don't. Mermaids, some people see them, some people don't. Some people see these things, but I see these things in the ocean. So I feel like there's something going on as like a cover up of what they're doing, and they're slaying these merfolk. I heard about also in the Faroe Islands, which is like this place that I've been wanting to go so badly, that they go out and they hunt like almost 2,000 dolphins and slay them all, and it's kind of a interesting way of these, like the Faroe Islands are more remote and I would feel, I've never been there, so I don't know. I would feel like it would be more like connected to a culture and like a spirituality than just slaying a bunch of dolphins. So I feel like something's amiss, and the stories that they're telling people about what they're doing out there are totally different than what's actually going on. And I think it's really about this whole, because I've had all these experiences lately about the ocean that have been calling me deeply. And when I was in California the last time, I saw a mer person in the ocean, like so clear as day, I could draw it, and I was like, wait, does nobody see that? Like, what is going on? And it was this whole experience I had with the ocean that made me see that there's these living creatures. I remember being a living creature. Like, I feel like I'm a mermaid inside of the ocean is just something to me. And
let me ask you this:
if these like underground things are about kind of slaying this and keeping it under wraps, because also China outlawed the fact they took dragons out of their media and the children's books and everything. They have taken dragons out like they don't exist. They're trying to take them out. So it's this whole dimensional like magic. It's just like Avalon. Like if you don't believe in Avalon, it disappears, and how they've like snuffed out magic for centuries. That's what's going on the world, and like the kind of the cover up.
Well, that's brilliant. That's brilliant because I'm resonating with like all what you're saying, and with this is just the first part of this drawing, so it'll be interesting how it plays into the whole drawing. What I want to respond to what you're saying, Mindy, a couple things. But do you guys get the sense that this water dragon's benevolent or malevolent? I get a sense that is what?
Benevolent.
Yeah, me too. I get it as benevolent.
It's
Caroline.
underwater. Yeah, it just feels
Like
like
a
it's just
cover-up.
been
So
dormant underwater, and the great grandson of the president or something like that. It's just something connecting with the president of the CCP.
I think
yeah.
that's who's doing the cover-ups.
So here's some
Yeah.
intel for y'all from the Jim News world, and what conspiracies are going to become fact and what will fall off as theories. So there's been a lot of talk that the CCP is no more in power, but that the chairman of China, Xi, actually turned sides or is helping the alliance. And he might have always been a good person and he's been waiting for his part. Meaning, what I didn't realize was President Xi is not part of the CCP, but because the CCP was the prominent power of China, President Xi had to kind of, go along until the right time. So I've heard that there, and I've also heard that there's major stuff going down in China and like a great changes happening. Like their negative side is being exposed in a big way. The Bitcoin is supposed to crash, and the way that they've infiltrated the Chinese Communist Party um, are all of our companies and our government, and also the human trafficking part. And what I was saying, what I was feeling with what you said, Mindy, and with what you drew, is that there's this benevolent energy that's going to help uh, in this change from dark to light, or getting rid of these negative forces that are very prominent there. I don't want to get too much into it because you guys did amazing, and I want to get to the next thing. But um, so you're right over
Caroline
the.
even she even drew it. You look at the drawing and you see it's got a cute face too,
That's what I'm saying. Right, and also what I wanted to tell you, it just came to me. So I watched this really interesting documentary. I think I sent it to you guys on the GalactiV channel, and we'll share it maybe, Mindy. You and I can do a little 10-minute.
Okay.
What do you think? I'll share some of these wacky things, even though they're not so wacky. But that the dinosaur stuff might actually have been a propaganda cover for really dragon bones that they found. But instead of saying that they were dragons, they made it because if you notice when we were little, well, I'm 40. When I was little, you had Tyrannosaurus Rex, you had Brontosaurus, you had like 5 dinosaurs. Now you have like 500,000 different species, and it goes into um, the whole New World Order propaganda thing. So I wouldn't surprise me, Mindy, if what you were saying about why they're taking the dragon out of their history books. They don't want people to know that the dragons are real.
Anything. They can't even they edited Game of Thrones. They had to take out the dragons for them to air it in China.
Yeah.
The fucking dragons are like the main
Dragons.
part. Like, how the fuck do you even have the story without the dragons, by the way? And why? And
Mother
really?
of beep.
What the fuck? Like, that's so bizarro world, right? What is the purpose or the point in that in any way?
Well, hey,
Uh,
we're off. I mean, yeah. And then the other thing you were saying, Mindy, about the merfolk, and here's what I also have come to realize.
oh, hold on. Can we go back? Hold back to the ocean
Sure.
real quick. There's this
Yeah.
one place that I go to. There's this really amazing place I go to in Moab, and there's this big ravine that I camp next to, and it's deep, like hundreds of feet deep, and all the cliffs are red rocks, and all inside of them they look like sea turtles stuck in time. They're humongous and there's multiple of them and they're
Whoa.
everywhere. And it looks like under the sea has been frozen in time. And it's one of the craziest,
It
just,
probably is. It
it
probably
is.
is.
I know it is. It
So you
showed
and
me
I,
it is.
we're gonna do a
Oh,
show, and if Caroline can make it, great. If not, I'm gonna bring like 4 or 5 different clips of these things, like the Antarctica thing, like all the woolly mammoth skeletons and that they've have there that they're not telling. Antarctica is a big mystery spot. You're talking about this ancient turtle fossils. What happened to Caroline? Did she go?
I don't know.
I'm here. We're just moving the vehicle.
Okay. Well, let's go to anything else because what I was gonna say, Mindy, and I love being able to do the Galactic because we get to talk about all these things. I think that certain people see things that other people can't see for sure. And I mean, we're talking different levels. I know people that can look up at the sky at night and they can see the spaceships as clear as it's like, and other people can't. Some people can see the mermaids. I had an interesting journey with fairies. I saw a fairy once, not like still, but flying right across the tree line. I mean, and I know that you are very powerful with that. So that was the huge to bring that up as part one of the drawing is that those those hidden realms as we call them, but maybe they're not so hidden. Maybe
they are hidden, and
but I'm saying maybe the powers that be that keep us in the matrix have put these blinders on or something so that people can't see there's a real mer person out there.
Well, it's in fact a glamour. And so it's a kind of a spell that the fairies do as well. So you can't see them.
Yeah.
And they do this to protect themselves because over time, kind of like the witches and the different things that they've tried to snuff out over the time. Yeah. So there was this whole conversation I had with the ocean and the mer people as well that was all about this because there's so many parts of the ocean that are dying, and it's like my idea is if people can see and know that they're there, that they may think a little bit more about what they're doing because it's like their home too, and they're like beings, but they're super cool and magical. But their problem is they're every time they've been known, they've been slaughtered. And so the whole thing about the Faroe Islands and like slaughtering all the dolphins and all that stuff is like
that's like slaughtering the children, just taking the best things on the planet.
And I'm like, okay, I get it, but we do that with humans anyways.
Well, yeah.
Well, go and slaughter people in war and this, and it's kind of the same thing. So it's like we have to just continue to fight for the earth to live and for us to live. And if we could all live in harmony and like be cool with each other's environments and help each other out, that'd be super cool.
Well, I think we're at the crossroads of which way is humanity gonna go. Are we gonna clean the oceans or are we gonna kill everything in it? And whether Dolores Cannon was right, where she said the earth would actually split and the higher vibe people will go into one dimension or the other will go and the negative lower vibration will go into another one, and that's where you have the multiverse. Or if we're gonna have to, clean up if everything's gonna happen in this, realm. So great. I'm so excited. This show is off to some amazing
there's Caroline. Yay. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. All right. Well, take us to the next spot, Caroline.
Perfect.
I'm gonna go in and out after we go to the next thing. I'm gonna go in and out a little bit just because we're gonna get the cats out of the car here.
No problem. But no problem.
You're awesome.
So at the very top,
out the way it's supposed to, so it's all good.
Yeah. Well, it's really funny how this is all happening.
Yeah, it's funny for sure.
At the top
that's
of the
what
drawing,
happens when you just go with spirit and just let it happen. It usually that's the best result.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So at the top, you're going to see a square with an eye in it, and you're going to see it looks like it's over the earth. So that perspective, when I saw it in the vision, it was as if I was the perspective of a satellite looking down at the earth, like watching.
This all matches up to what's going on.
And I'm just like, I don't know. It just felt like somebody's about to make a move. They're just watching from the satellites very closely.
It's totally like gonna
the eye of Sauron.
The eye of Sauron, or the eye of Sauron, or the Galactic Federation. I mean, there's Did you get again with that? Did you get a negative or a positive around the eye in the sky? That also could be like God, Or...
I mean, the thing I thought about was the space station too, and the
There's been talk about this. There's been a lot of talk about that. I'll be happy to share. Go on.
Yeah. So that's what I got about that. It's just like something watching from above. Something about to happen. They're just watching. It's a right move about to be made.
Perfect. Now let's see what Mindy's got. Now channel the eye, if you would, Mindy.
Okay.
What do we think? Because I got some things to say about this. I want to hear what you're going to say first.
I see it as it's some kind of machinery, the watching eye, and that makes me kind of tied up and think about Elon Musk and the satellite and the space, what do they call it? Spaceforce X or whatever.
Yeah, I'll explain that. I'll explain a little bit of that, but keep going. Yeah, the Elon Musk or the Starlink or the Space Force, it's all kind of one thing going on. It's all kind of part of the same project, but it's in the air. It's up in the sky. It is technology. It's watching everything.
It wants to see everything, and it also wants to control everything. So it kind of reminds me of a robot gone psychotic.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It could be, yeah.
In a way of controlling, and it's
do you get the feeling that there could be two sets of technological equipment up in the satellite realm that is trying to
two sets?
Like the good guys have their own
yes, it felt like two, like an alien and with the astronauts and the satellites.
The reason why, let me just
that they're projectors.
You see that they're projectors. Okay, what else what can you expound a little bit? Just a little bit, because
a projector in the way of the energy of both feel that they're both giving a story. They're both giving a influence. They're both giving a
100%.
vibration that they want people on the earth to experience. So they're both about control. They both are one place fighting against the other place in a way of space war, but
you're nailing it. You both are nailing it. I mean, I'm going to add in the extra here. So you basically have the internet now, and the way this, all the news is tied together into one narrative, and the way that everything is, it can be, if they want to censor one thing on the internet, it goes global, or they want to take out something or change something, they can do it. And I think that's the way it's set up right now, because I'll just give you guys a little clue. NASA is fake. And also everything they've told us about how our solar system works and how the moon works and our space exploration is propaganda. They don't want us to know the truth, just like they don't want us to know about the dragons. And then there's a theory that is saying the good guys, the Alliance, we'll call them, have put up their own set of satellites, all-seeing eye, so that at some point if whoever wins, they're gonna turn off the old one and jumpstart the new one, and then we'll have the real truth. Or you could say the first one could stop the new one, and then we're still left in the darkness. And so what's going to happen is really exciting. But the fact that we went from, this is our second point of topic, and you just said what you said, Mindy, and you drew what you drew, Caroline, this is all playing into the Great Awakening, the Great Change. Here we are, 2021. And let me just remind everyone, this, at the end of this year, is the end of the 9-year cycle that started on 12/21/2012, which was the whole Mayan calendar thing. So we're about to finish that 9-year cycle, and I feel like it's going to be huge. So yes, I do believe you got the Elon Musk, you got Space Force, you got all this Starlink satellites being launched, and you got a lot of information saying the old system is going to be replaced by the new. So great. Should we go on? Anything else you want to add, Mindy, to anything I just said, or
is Caroline there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we could move on. Caroline, back to you.
Next spot.
It's perfect timing. Okay. Can you see me?
Of course.
Yes.
Can you hear
we
me?
see
Okay.
you.
All right. So the next part of the drawing is to the right of that. Play charades and Fruit of a Loom. The Fruit of a Loom thing was, I felt something with a shortage of some sort of cotton or something halting materials.
You just came up with this and you
Clothing.
didn't know anything about the shortage.
I don't
You didn't.
know.
You're nailing it because there's a short. They're talking about global shortages on simple household items like cotton, and you're saying exactly what they're.
Yeah, I stopped watching any news thing.
That's
like
great. I mean, you're just confirming everything.
And it freaked me out. It was so weird.
What's
Which
that?
one?
Just it was on at my client's house. I was giving him a massage, and he had the news on in the background, and it was the local like KUTV news.
You can feel the demonicness of it or whatever.
It was so creepy. They were like, and now all pregnant women need to be vaccinated right away.
No, it's becoming so.
I was like, wow.
It's becoming so ridiculous. It's becoming so ridiculous for a reason.
Pregnant women, wow,
Well, that's what the play charades. Because the game charades, isn't that people like physically standing up and acting out something?
Yes,
and
acting
out what it is.
What it is.
So Fruit of a Loom, yeah. So like I said, Fruit of a Loom. I specifically saw that logo with that cotton shortage, and then the charades, the acting it out kind of thing.
So here's the thing. So what you just said, I'm going to say this and then go to Mindy because I'm going to nail it. So the charades to me means what Mindy just said about the fake news, as I call it. What they're showing the people on TV is an act to wake people up. And one of the things that we're going to see real soon is the shortage of common goods, which is why they've been saying stock up on everything you need have your month's supply, because and this could start from China too, and they say it already has in a way, when the supply chains stop, the economy crashes. They're playing it out so ridiculous on TV for us to figure it out, because like Mindy just said, they're like, oh, if you're vaccinated or if you're pregnant, you got to get vaccinated. It's like, what? And I know that's waking people up. And so things like that, and also things like this shortage that's just coming. All right, I'm going to zip it. Mindy, do you got anything about it? About the plain charades?
So on the news again today, the real news, they said that, what did they say? Give me just 1 second. Federal government was threatening to shut down.
Yeah, that's also today. Yeah, this is going to be an epic show because we're doing it the day that all that crazy stuff's going on TV.
And they just announced it. They're like, we don't want you to worry, but the federal government may shut down. Don't worry.
They might actually not agree, and then there's no more budget to run the country, folks. Don't worry about it. That means like 80, that's like, what, like 20 million people that just go without a job. Everything shuts down from the government. This is actually, in my opinion, a good thing. This global shortage, the economy crashing. I mean, they've been, anybody who's not stuck.
If they're saying that's what's happening, what do you think's really happening?
Well,
they're just trying to freak people out and create more money somewhere.
Well, they're trying to freak people out, in my opinion, to wake people up. Because at the end of the day, people got to realize it's not about money; it's about your soul, right? So,
soul, this cat's trying to suck mine. He won't let go.
Black cat, the black cat, the good witch,
baby.
So the Avalon priestess. Okay. So anyway, let's go to the next one because yes, we got it. We don't want to try to dissect everything because we only have so much time. But yes, charades on the TV. What's going on? But we can all agree that in order for things to actually get straight and right, there's things got to fall. So it's
Oh, of
gonna be scary to a lot of people, and
Just
the most.
life.
But a lot of people need that in order to finally go, huh? To get woken up out of the matrix. Okay, let's go to the next one, Caroline.
So the next part is just below that to the left. It says USA in green and cold. So what a vision I had a vision of the southern west part of the United States and Mexico. It felt like, and I saw snow in Mexico. It was like winter came down, and it was freezing cold in LA, freezing cold in Mexico, and that's usually places where it's hot. So it was like super winter there, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, because this doesn't usually happen, kind of thing. So I just felt like this frigid coldness all over that whole area. That's typically a warm summer climate.
It snowed in Texas a few months ago that it hadn't snowed there in like 100 years.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, it did, and they did it with weather manipulation. So, Mindy, what do you get from that imagery? I want to throw one other thing out to you, Mindy, before this. There's been a phrase that's going around that says Biden said it. It's also on the Q posts and the Telegram channels that the dark winter is coming. And no one really is that a blackout? Are they going to play with weather manipulation, or are they going to shut down the global supply chains and everyone's going to be like, things are going to slow down? Is that the cold wave? So what comes to you about this cold and Mexico and Southern California imagery?
That I see that it can definitely be a product of just the earth moving and how it's tilted over time. And, all the seasons kind of tend to change. We're the ones that created time in the calendar. The earth didn't create that. It kind of goes on its own thing. And so we expect a certain thing from a season, but it really has nothing to do with the way that the earth's worked for like way longer than we ever said it works one way. So in fact, I think it's kind of egoic of us to think that we can, or that we as humans think that we could heavily influence something that's existed way longer than we ever have, to the point of us destroying it. It would definitely destroy us before.
If you see, okay, so this is going to be interesting to be able to see this. It's kind of mixed together with the Mexico thing. So you see a little green dot and it says Mayfair next to it.
Yeah, I see Mayfair.
So when I saw that, it was a vision of Mayfair off the coast of the east coast of the United States, Mayfair, where the ship landed, the Mayfair or something. And it was like North New England.
Mayflower?
Are you talking about the Mayflower?
Yes, but I don't know why I said Mayfair, but something like that, and it was like off the coast.
Okay, well, did you hear about Wayfair ever? So Wayfair, the company, which is interesting, which is what I first thought, because it's just if you flip the M upside down, it's a W, and Wayfair is part of the human trafficking, and the ships and the shipping industry is a big part of that with the containers. I have no idea if that means anything. And as Mindy mentioned,
sounds interesting, yeah.
And as Mindy mentioned, Mayflower, which you also picked up on, was one of the ships that was part of the Columbus story. So anything else you want to talk about that before Mindy does her thing?
I mean, I just saw it was a ship and it was off the coast of the United States, and then I saw that part of the country in my vision. It was just showing that part of the country, the New England area,
which is where. Oh wait, the Mayflower was not Columbus. What am I thinking? That was the New England. That was the Pilgrims in New England.
Yes, they escaped England for religious persecution for their religious beliefs.
Right, and then they burned a bunch of witches about 20 years after that.
Yeah.
Way to go, guys.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
Way to pass the buck, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna escape England for religious, but then as soon as we get our own land, we're gonna go crazy on the witches. It's weird.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, anyway, I wasn't meant to, I was joking, but obviously it's very serious and I don't condone
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no worries.
Okay. Anyway, Mindy, anything?
Yeah, Mindy, what do you have to say about it?
The East Coast Mayfair ship, New England.
It's, I don't know. It's like when I look at it, it really shows me a fair, like a Ferris wheel, and I continuously have been getting the wheel of life or the wheel of fortune all the time in the tarot. It's coming up all the time. The wheel, the wheel, the wheel, the wheel, the wheel. And I see this kind of wheel turning, and it tells me, you know, kind of connecting back to that time of the Mayflower, but the Mayfair, it's something else with a ship and like landing on a new horizon and bringing an awareness, I guess, is the best mark there, an awareness to maybe even what you're talking to, what you're talking about, Rich, the
Possibly.
the Wayfair. I got a Wayfair ad in the mail today too, and I was like, this is interesting. I never see this. And now there's this huge like little magazine ad in here. And I thought about that exact thing, like, are they really doing that? Is that really a thing, you know?
Well, the thing that happened on Wayfair about a year ago after the first lockdown is that I'm trying to get the glare out of my, they found that on Wayfair, there was like child trafficking going on right before our eyes. Like it would be like a picture, like a little closet that you get from IKEA or from Home Depot for $50 was going for like $12,000. And it was like the Melissa closet or like the Jordan, you know, pajama set for like 15,000, and it had a code. And when you put the code in, it went to like a missing report of a kid. And this was only, and you would only find these Wayfair ads if you had a special link, meaning the most of the public didn't see them. And and so that's crazy. And also what you said, this all plays into everything we've talked about so far. The dragon, water dragon, the all-seeing eye, the playing the charades to wake people up. And now you have like what you just said, like this, the new information coming, or the new, it's like when the original Mayflower came over, it was a whole new change in the world. Like the world was never going to be the same once those pilgrims came to the new world. So maybe we're coming in on, you know, this new, the beginning of a new cycle of the new world in a whole nother way. Brilliant.
Yeah, today the Wheel of Fortune, it came up upside down, or was it, sorry, that was yesterday. That was the first time it came upside down, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, because upside down, or the bottom part of it, represents the darkness. And so it's like the darkness, if you go upside down, you know, coming into the light. And that was just yesterday.
Yeah, dark to light. That's what, so on the Gym News, I talk about it, you know, the Q post, it's a very real thing. It's either, it's not a hoax, it's not a kid in a basement. It's either a military operation or worldwide to wake people up, or it's a complete psyop to keep people that are actually awakened distracted. And the big message throughout that whole thing is dark to light. And you just talked about it with the Wheel of Fortune, which plays into the Mayflower, Mayfair, Wayfair, hitting the imagery, hitting the new world. So I love it. Let's move to the next one, because this is amazing. Are we good? Do we go to the next one?
Caroline, are you there?
Caroline.
Hey, sorry. Sorry.
Okay. You're fine. Where do we go after the Mayfair?
Okay. Sorry.
No, sorry.
So after the Mayfair flare. Okay. Under that, you see a bell ringing, and it was like the Liberty Bell. So it was like this bell just
This
ringing.
is crazy.
Let freedom ring. And then in between the word Mexico and the top of the bell, the loop, there's a blue line. The blue line, you follow it, it does a little zigzag and it goes straight down.
Yeah.
Next to that is Northrop and Grommen, the company Northrop and Grommen. So that company, I felt like their stock was going to drop or something like that, with the stock market was just going to drop real deep. So I don't know, that name came up when I felt that, Northrop and Grommen, which I know, the only thing I know about them is that they're some kind of government contractor company. So I'm not sure exactly what they do, other than that they're a government contractor.
Well, if the government shuts down today, then that would mean that would be one way to start the economic crash, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight before we go to Mindy. So Liberty Bell, absolutely. That is the apex of the energy of the time, is the freedom, let freedom ring. And then you're saying this line looks like it's going along and all of a sudden a sharp dive, and it's related to a company, obviously a company that's connected to the government.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I mean, if ever there was an image to show it, something tanks or crashes, that could be it, right?
Yeah, and that connects with, so under that it says, no wonder, like it was like somebody saying, no wonder that's been going, or no wonder this has happened. Like that expression.
Like maybe
and it, huh?
No,
and then that bird is ostrich.
Okay.
Hey, you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to read you about Northrop Grumman, which you spelled it wrong, but I found it. No, it's
I don't know how it's spelled.
They're an aerospace and defense company. They engage in provision of security businesses, creates and delivers platform systems and solutions in autonomous systems, cyber, command, control, communications and computers, intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, strike, and logistic and modernization. The firm operates through the following segments: aeronautic systems, defense systems, mission systems, and space systems. The aeronautic systems segment consists of autonomous systems and manned aircrafts. Do you guys get what's going on here? The defense systems segment consists of battle management and missile systems. The mission systems segment consists of battle management and missile systems. The mission systems segment consists of airborne sensors and networks, cyber and intelligence mission solutions, maritime/land systems and sensors and navigation, targeting, and survivability. The space system segment consists of operations relating launch and strategic missiles and space. The company was founded by John K. Northrop, Thomas V. Jones, and Kent Cressa in 1939. And it's headquartered in Falls Church, Virginia. The listed name for NOC is Northrop Grumman Corp.
All right. Yeah. I mean,
so what we're looking at the great eye and the fucking things watching us, and this company comes up that's all they do is like they can just shoot anybody from anywhere at any point in time. They're automated through aerospace, through fucking planes, through people. They fucking have been here since the war. These are the dudes.
Basically, yeah. I mean, whatever was the Nazis and all that, the New World Order, they just changed their strategy. They just went into our NASA, they went into our government. They created this. So I would say that is like, based on the drawing here, that would be eye in the sky number one, the old one, the one that's been established, the one that can delete you, find you. You're never going to be free. You're in the matrix. And if it's going to go down like dead, then that maybe mean the new one that is going to replace it. Like you said, Mindy, it's all about control. There has to be some, I have come to the conclusion that there needs to be some control in some ways, but whoever controls the satellites controls whether we're, our matrix, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so you're feeling it, Mindy. You're basically feeling it. What you just said is that company's tied to the system that is full of lies and deceit and
It's tied to the eye in the sky. Yes, absolutely. They
the
have
eye on
every capability of doing everything and have been watching and controlling. This is probably where weather control comes from. This company could have been the company that shot down the towers. Like, they have every capability to do anything, any attack on any part of the planet at any time, according to what I just read.
check this out. You see it? Gosh,
The eye on the dollar bill. Yeah, you got
the
that right.
eye on the
Caroline,
dollar.
look, the eye on the dollar.
Wow.
The all-seeing eye.
Yeah, but that's the evil one.
Mhm.
I'm going back. Yeah, all right.
They're trying to shut me down.
This is great. Thank you, Mindy, for looking that up for us, because that makes perfect.
Absolutely.
And that's what you were told to do, and you did, and that was perfect.
Indeed, I just follow the prompts.